John Kennedy from 4property. Welcome to our Startup TV.
Thank you very much.
Would you like to tell us about 4property?
Sure, I've been involved in the real estate and technology for about 15 years. We decided back 3 years ago to start, to develop a new product that would be innovative in the market of bringing the search experience to the next level with the latest technologies that are coming out in the world. So the explanation of that is to bring in open data and bring that alongside the traditional data that you have for renting and buying houses. So bringing in everything from population and income and utilities and everything in regards to schools, shops, pubs, restaurants, anything that actually would help you actually make a decision in relation to where you're going to rent or buy. I suppose one of the things that are very important when you're looking at, maybe as a young family like I have at the moment, you'd be looking at in regards where your children are going to school, and every time you're looking at a property you look at it in perspective of that. How many kilometres, how long is it going to take me to commute? And we're bringing in automated systems to actually calculate that on the fly and be able to actually relay that information to make someone's decision making a better one.
So your platform, 4property, aggregates data to help people to make best decisions when looking to either purchase or rent a property in a certain area.
Correct. So we're taking, I suppose, the platform that we have in the Irish market and having thousands and thousands of listings on our platform. We are syndicating that information out to other portals as well, but now I suppose we're taking it to the next level in regards to bringing in all sorts of other data which is important in that decision making process. We've also built a platform to be capable of scaling it internationally and looking at how we can actually bring it into other countries and looking at the constraints that was in our countries and also what happened in terms of the boom and bust, and looking at how we can actually provide information that could be anti-cyclical even, or for buyers in regards to give them the context of of an area, and then seeing everything in terms of maybe what a seasoned professional would have been able to communicate to them. But a lot of people don't have that information laid up. It's left to their own devices to go and seek that. Whereas I see the platform should be actually presenting that alongside any of the transactions that should be going, whether it be renting or buying.
So you mentioned you had a background in property and technology. Are you a technologist, or are you a property expert, or tell us a little bit more?
I suppose a little bit of both. In regards, I've been involved in the peripheral in relation to real estate for 15 years, but the core business has always been servicing real estate industries, everything from the back office systems to the publishing systems. So we build an awful lot of micro real estate websites for big and small agents in Ireland and abroad. Our publishing system is putting through hundreds of thousands of transactions or properties throughout the year.
What inspired 4property?
I suppose wanting to go to the next level, seeing Ireland as I suppose the stepping stone and looking at the international opportunity. We're over at the Rise Web Summit there last week in Hong Kong, and seeing the scale and the opportunity over in China and other emerging countries as well is very exciting. You realise that Ireland is a small village in the world.
A global player.
Yeah, well, I mean, why not? I mean, software is one of the ways we can compete, and there's nothing stopping us other than putting the right infrastructure and the right logic in place, and then rolling it out. It could be scaled, and I suppose that's the exciting thing about software, and hopefully to go international with it.
Absolutely. And right now, who are your customers? Are they property companies or individuals?
Both. I suppose there's three focus, or three perspectives. There's the buyers who are coming in and buyers and renters who are coming in and they want the search to be faster and more rich in terms of hyper-local data, bringing in the schools and all the information about the area. There is the agents and developers in terms of they want to see the analysis on the supply and demand. They want a system they can put information in quickly and get information back out quickly as well. And then the third tier is the government in terms of being able to see what's happening in the market, bringing in other data in terms of the analytics and descriptive, predictive and prescriptive analytics in seeing why something's happening, what's going to happen, and maybe what should be done to prevent something from happening. So I mean, big data analytics is going to become a much bigger factor in terms of the way people process data as well, and they'll expect to have that alongside what they traditionally were looking at.
Yeah, big data is huge across all sectors. It's great to see you figuring out a niche around the property space.
Yeah, well, I think it's important to be able to, be able to see. Well, it's one of the Maslow requirements to put a roof over your head. Absolutely. So I mean, it's at the forefront of everybody's mind. But to bring in, I suppose, the information everything from the weather can have a factor on whether people are going to be out viewing homes, and if you can correlate that data and make it actually leverage it for the actual market in a positive way, you'll increase your impact in the market.
So where is the business at the moment? Right now we're in Nova, so you're a client of Nova's.
So with the aspiration and the drive into the international market, we decided to relocate in a hub of other technology or like-minded people. And the connection with the UCD has been massively beneficial in the sense that we've tapped into and are doing projects with some research groups in the UCD. We also have worked with a team from the Executive MBA group that have done some market entry strategy research for us. So the connection and being based in UCD has had a profound effect in kind of being able to tap resources that you wouldn't necessarily be able to if you weren't on the doorstep of a university.
Brilliant. So you're termed, I gather, as a spin-in rather than a spin-out, in the sense that you've come in to leverage the assets of the university.
Yes.
What are the next steps for the business?
The next steps of the business will be we finished the R&D part of it. So at this stage we're actually now looking at funding to target specific markets and to decide whether we're going to enter the market ourselves in that or find a channel partner. So in effect what we can do is we can white label our product to be whatever brand that they wish, whether they have an existing brand and want to replace their technology, or they haven't been in the space before and want to play in such an important pillar of audience and traffic on the internet, which is real estate, rentals and sales.
That's really exciting. So in terms of your go-to market strategy, are you hoping to test something at home here in Ireland, or are you hoping to go internationally straight away?
Well, we already have a sound foundation of customers here in Ireland, and I suppose it's looking the international.
And that was for the pre-existing business?
We would, yeah. A national business, but I mean, the market here is small compared to other markets. The number of transactions here, obviously with the downturn in the economy and the crash of property prices obviously has an effect on the Irish market, but we've come through kind of in good health, and now looking internationally to kind of go to the next level.
Have you a sense from the data how Ireland compares to other countries with your specific product? Where does it fit in? Are there comparable needs in other countries, or do different countries have very different needs?
I think most it is very comparable. The market in each country is either has low supply or has a lot of supply, and both dynamics kind of lend itself to kind of an equilibrium, kind of out of sync. Yeah. So in Ireland at the moment we've very little supply because we haven't been building in the last 5 years or longer, and that puts an awful lot of strain, and prices are going back up again. And it takes about an 18-month between turning a sod and actually selling the houses. So there's a latency there in development. In other markets you might have too many houses for sale, like in Spain. You have a common system where everybody puts the properties into a kind of what they call an MLS, and all the agents can download and see what properties are available.
What's an MLS?
Multiple listing service. The idea being, and it's far from what the Irish market is, because I suppose with the lack of supply they're very tight and want to control or hold on to their customers with supply. Whereas if you had loads of supply and you want to shift them, you'd be willing to share. So
see, if people literally fighting to sell a house.
They would, yeah. And especially like if you look at America, they have MLSs in Spain as well. You have multiple agents turning up to the same property at the same time.
Wow, just didn't know that. That's very cool. John Kennedy from 4property, thank you very much for speaking to Irish Startup TV, and we'll be really excited to see the platform, although we may not recognise it immediately if it's white labelled, but we're really excited to see the platform coming to the market very soon.
Great.
Super.
Thanks for your time. Brilliant.
Thanks very much.